Hello, everyone. Welcome to German 3010, which is delivered fully online. So since, for the most part, you are new to this textbook and the platform on Vista Higher Learning, I thought I'll give you a quick orientation how this works, especially since we are doing this fully online. And so there are going to be a couple of different pieces in there, even if you had SAGMA on the Vista Higher Learning platform for the beginning level, or even if you took 3020 in the, when was that, in the spring? It's still going to be different. So I thought I'll give you a quick orientation. So right now I'm logged in as a student on the site. I'm already logged in. You will see the textbook icon. I'm not sure if you see that every single time or if it takes you directly, but if it does, you see right here, you have the textbook, you have our course listed right here, 3010, Communication in German Media. I'm limited to how many characters I can use. You see the university, you see my instructor name. So let's click on this. And this takes you to the course dashboard. And as you can see, it'll show you upcoming assignments. It gives you a guess of how long you would take. It shows you how many activities are assigned. And you could click on Start here. And you would see all of the ones that are assigned. They're going through, and you can go through here. But you may actually want to go back to this, and let's go over this. So you have the course up here, you have content, you see activities, you will see assessment, you will find resources that I may make available to you. You have vocabulary tools if you want to work with them. The VText is essentially the textbook in an electronic format, so you always have access to that if you don't want to haul the physical book around with you. And you also have the ebook version, which works on like an iPad or other similar device like that, whereas the VText is more for the computer. We have our calendar, and I will go into that in a second. You have the grade book right here. And obviously there's nothing in there yet because I didn't submit anything, but you will see all of the different categories. So homework overall, we have participation with essays, quizzes, the lab work, self-study, presentation, and the final. And you can see how much that is of the overall course and what your scores are. And you could go in there for very specific course. You can see, you know, what you did. Obviously, I already did one assignment and I did it on time, ironically, way ahead. And you can also look at unassigned work that you could do for practice, but there's nothing in here. But this is where I'm going to post your grades, and you always know where you're at currently. And so rather than doing that in Blackboard, because you're going to do so much of the work on here anyway, that I'm going to use the gradebook feature here. We have communication. If we click on that, we have announcements with notifications and forums. For announcements, they are actually linked to the to the calendar, so they appear on the date that they're relevant. This is a new one. I've obviously viewed a whole bunch of them as I created this, but you can always go look at them here and see when they're created and what the topic here. So Stellen Sie sich vor is one. I did something for Aufsatz 1, that is about 3 weeks into the semester, etc. So we've kind of built a couple of things in here. For the discussion forums, we're going to use those as well. So the first one here, ich hab da mal eine Frage. That's actually one that I designed that's open-ended for everybody to chime in. If you have a question that you think about the course, about an assignment that you think another student might have as well. So please post them in here. So if you click on it, and as you can see, as I put here, this discussion forum is for the entire semester. It's a place where you post questions about anything that comes up. And so you can also answer it as a student. If you know if the answer, you think you know the answer, go right ahead and post it there. So this is also something where you can do a quick search to see if someone has actually already ask that question if it's already been answered. So this is something, it's a generic questions about the course rather than specific about why did I get grade XYZ, because everybody can see that. So this is our reference tool for sort of bigger questions that you may have, and we can interact. This is not graded, so you don't have to participate, but I think since it's an online course, this may be an effective way to communicate about sort of bigger issues there. And if you email me, which you can do, I may actually tell you, go take a look or post this on this forum so that everybody can benefit and learn from that. All right, so if we go back to another one, stellen Sie sich bitte vor, that's the first one. If you click on it, so you will see this is part one. I want you to introduce yourself in German so that we get to know you. And this is a spoken one. So part one is you're going to go introduce yourself. You have a couple of prompts here. You can add other things. And so this one is a reply. And if you click on this, you will see recording. In this case, you are supposed to record. Or if it's a written prompt, then you would type your answer in here and you can listen to it. If you don't, I mean, once you recorded it, if you don't like it, you can delete it and do it over again. That's up to you. And then as part two, I want you, since we're a small class, to listen to other people's posts and respond with another one, so we can have some asynchronous outside of class conversation as well. This is the first one is to get you used to this feature. So you will get full credit if you do it, both parts. So it's not like how well you do it. Later on, we'll be more specific on content, or if it's about pronunciation or vocabulary use, whatever it is, I will let you know. But for the first one, just so that you can try out these features and how they work to take the pressure off, you get to do that. And that's, of course, linked in the assignments, as you will see. So I'm going to cancel out of here. I will probably post an introduction to myself, about myself later on once I finish developing this course. So one of the things I would suggest, if you come in, you see you have the course dashboard, and you might have some notifications as well. But I would actually suggest that you go into the calendar view, because you get the bigger picture. You will see here, this is the announcement, and I'm telling you there's something that's due on the 19th, and that didn't show up in your dashboard. So this is a good way to go look at it. And this was the Stellen Sie sich vor, is the assignment. I'm telling you when it's due, what you're supposed to be doing here, and you have the direct link to where the form is up here. And then I attached a screenshot in case you're not sure where to find it. You would find it here as well. So if you click on it, it will essentially show you OKK Communications forums right up here. Let me click out of this and go back in here. I also, to familiarize, if you need some more tech support, there is the information right here to the student forums guide from the Vista Higher Learning. I have no idea why this one is not a live link. I'm still working on it, so maybe by the beginning of the semester it will be. Let's go back to the calendar. So you will see this is something for you to do for Wednesday. You have your online exercises here. Thursday, our lab day, is going to be asynchronous, so you get to work on your own. And as you can see, I put a announcement on here to tell you what the expectations are for what to do, how to do it. You also have in one of the activities is a partner chat. You can see all of it. There's, again, I posted help on if you need to find out how to do that. We'll talk about that once we get there. But I just kind of wanted you to see it a little bit. So you may want to go look through the calendar view. You have the homework, it's all linked. This could be, let's go look at this. Again, you have the exercises right here. You have, for example, I posted the vocabulary, since we're going to work with that. You have that in your textbook. You have it here to work with. If you click on a word, it gives you an audio recording for pronunciation. So you can do a lot with that. You have some vocabulary tools down here for added practice, which is flashcards. etc. So you can, do some of that work. Once you're done working with that, you can use the textbook, you can work here. You have multiple choices on how to access it. Then you would go next activity. If you have a question about something specifically in an exercise, use this feature and then go very specific where your question is. So if you, for example, you got an answer here, you would type in, and this will actually very quickly direct me to where your question is in one exercise. If you post this in the Ich hab da mal eine Frage discussion forum, I will never find it. It's going to be really, really hard until you specifically tell me. So this is where I suggest that you use the Ask the Instructor and then click on the field of where specific you have a question, and I can answer it much more quickly. I'm going to cancel this. So you have 2 attempts right here, and you can go, for example, if you're not sure about the vocab, you can always click up here. The textbook pages are included, so that would take you back to the vocabulary page. And this is how it looks like from the textbook, and you can zoom in. It's the same thing as the previous one, or you can pull that page up in your textbook as you prefer. So I'm going to click out of this, and I'm going to click out of this. And then once you're done, you would save. You could save, or if you're not done, or when you feel you're ready, you can submit. And it will give you immediate feedback on most of the activities in here, except for the open-ended ones where I actually have to take a look at it. So that'll take a little bit longer. And we will work through a lot of this, and this is essentially how the course is going to be set up. And I'm trying to do about pretty much every assignment that we can on this platform, so you don't have to go in and out. Here, even though it says 9 minutes and 8 minutes, that's actually not true. You should expect about an hour, roughly speaking, of work each time. And the reason why that is, if you look at this, there's one exercise, and it's in the textbook. And so this is the preparation for our discussion in the Zoom classroom. And I want you to actually write out answers for the those exercises in your textbook. And since this is, it thinks it's a very short composition writing, it probably will be less. So you can either type in your answers here, or you can write them in a Word document and then upload the file, which actually might not be a bad idea to write your answers out elsewhere, because then you have them on your computer. Should every once in a while VHL, like any application server, are down, and so if you're in the middle of it, you might actually lose what you wrote. So it's always good. I mean, I've done that myself in online courses, that I wrote things out in a Word document and then uploaded it either as a file or did a copy and paste and just submitted it this way. So you have a backup copy if something gets lost in transmission, or as you post and the server crashes or goes down exactly at that moment, then your work is lost. And just to take that stress factor out, it's good to have, especially for written work like that. So this is probably going to take a little longer than the 8 minutes that it suggests, but I don't think it'll take an hour. Let's go back to another example. This is the following week. So I think, yeah, so this is an exercise that you're supposed to be doing online and you're submitting, but I also am sending you out for a little bit of work first before you write your Lokalzeitung article. I want you to actually listen to German news, and Deutsche Welle has slowly spoken news, and I want you, and you have the direct link there, so pick the one from that day. It's okay if you don't understand everything at first, because they're not dumbed down for non-native speakers. They're the native speaker ones, but they're slowed down significantly, so something like that. You get the idea. And then, of course, I want you to include some of that information from the news from Germany and the US into your article that you're going to write in the assignment. So that's why that's also going to take a little bit longer. So these are the kind of things that we're going to do in the online course, and I think you have plenty of material to get at least oriented how this online delivery is going to work. And as I also said, we're going to have a lot of face-to-face, not face-to-face, synchronous class sessions on Zoom, so we can interact and talk to each other. This is mostly the homework that I also would use in a face-to-face class, just, where students would do the same kind of work, but then we would come together physically in a classroom. But unfortunately, we can't do that this semester because of the space limitations that SLU has, and also for social distancing, etc. So we're going to do it virtually, and we're going to do it well. So I look forward to interacting with you and learning with you as we explore the German media and on the Vista Higher Learning platform.